So then, seniors are released once more onto the circuit, and this time round, the man who starts from pole position is our championship leader, Piers Lehane, for Groups C against Group D. Alongside him is going to be the British contender of Ed Brand. Back on row 2, the likes of Dennis Mavlinov and Jordan Lennox-Lamb, who returns to racing here this weekend with us in the Rotax Max Euro Challenge. Then on to row 3, it's going to be the likes of Rinus van Kamthort and Josh White, man we spoke to so far this weekend, and of course we just heard from there, he's on row 3. Back on row 4, it's Nicolas Pico, the Frenchman, and Matteo Levraghi, the man who comes from this place in Italy, so he'll know this circuit very, very well indeed. Back to row 5 is Sam Marsh and Max Timmermans, a man who stepped up from juniors last year into the senior championship for this year. Another man to watch out for, definitely on the agenda this weekend. Back to row 6 is Jonathan Aberdeen and Carlos Gil, and then to row 7, the likes of Harry Webb, reigning champion, still trying to get to grips with his new team and of course how the kart is set up. Let's see if he can carve his way through the field from 13th on the grid. Berke Besler, the man who sits 3rd in the championship, he's 14th on the grid, another man who's got his work cut out here this weekend. To row 8 is the likes of Louis Ferdinand Simonauer and Shane Daly, who starts alongside him. Row 9 sees the likes of Maciej Shrupek and Mike Bartels, and then to row 10 is Agalos Melendros and Maximilian Schmidt, and then to row 11, the final two on the grid here, Richard Verschoor, excluded from qualifying. He should work his way through after being right up in the groups, and Sam Schmelt as well, 22nd on the grid, a second man excluded from qualifying.
Yeah, that Richard Verschoor story, that's a really interesting one, isn't it, that we're going to watch him. I'd imagine not only that he needs to and he can work his way up through, he's probably a rather frustrated young man that finds himself back there. They are going slow. They've got themselves not quite 2 by 2 actually this time round, but I think they are as they come round to the final corner. And are we going to get a start this time? They are coming down towards the grid. The speed is now increasing. Are we going to get a go? It looks like we are. So through they go, and it looks like our pole man Piers Lehane is still just about holding that inside line, and he has indeed managed to maintain that lead. Kart number 206. Oh no! And then it's frankly all hell breaks loose, and that looks like is that Ed Brand?
He's one of them, yep. Ed Brand's off at turn number 2, so he got collected there by 260 in the process as well, which is not good at all. Nicolas Pico was trying to get down the inside line. There was contact up front as well between Piers Lehane and Dennis Mavlinov, it looked like as well, but they just managed to scrape through without too much contact and no one spinning. And there's more yellow flags down at turn number 7, so again we've had a few carts off there. One looks to be 223, which is Max Timmermans, our junior runner from last year in the wars down at the first of the hairpins. So a dramatic start to this senior race, but the man who leads by the looks of it is our championship leader on his way through turns 11 and 12. That's Piers Lehane.
Yeah, hasn't he done well? He's just allowed all that to happen behind him. But 219, wow, Rinus van Kamthort from 5th on the grid is up into that 2nd position, and the two of them have managed to break away. Now, is Piers Lehane going to actually break that complete toe back to the 2nd position man of Rinus? Not sure if he's going to be able to, because the two of them are carry on through. We've now got towards the rear of the train there, we've got probably a rather frustrated Ed Brand in 203, but he's already made up one position, but he's got more to do yet.
He certainly has. He should be quick though, so watch out for Ed Brand in kart 203 to see how he can get his way through the field. But look at this up front between the top two. Piers Lehane being closed down now by Rinus van Kamthort. Down the inside he goes, and Rinus gets the lead of the race in this senior encounter. What a move down there at turn number 10. It may mean that Piers Lehane has a problem. After slight contact at turn number 2, he's now down into what's going to be 2nd place. So the top two go through onto the 3rd lap of the race. Let's get a check on what's happening further back as well. As Sam Marsh 3rd, Max Timmermans in fact wasn't the spinner at turn number 7 because he's showing up into 4th place.
Richard Verschoor up to 7th position. We said he was going to do something. We do have someone who's actually stopped heading down to between the two hairpins, between 9 and 10. The car has stopped. He's out of the kart. Not sure what the number is. You can't see that from here. I think it may well be the one of the Strawberry Racing cars, but we can't see who it is. But yeah, that looked more like a mechanical issue. But what a performance by Richard Verschoor, up to 7th already.
Yeah, great job for Richard Verschoor then from the back of the grid. He's going stormingly at the minute. He's one to watch out for. But the top two are now about to be joined by a 3rd man, Sam Marsh. What a start from Sam as well. From 9th on the grid, he's up there within the top 3. And he's getting closer and closer. He's getting quicker and quicker as well. Through they go. Let's have a look at that lap times. It's a 49.9 from Sam Marsh, which is much, much quicker than Piers Lehane. and around about the same as Rinus van Kalmthout. So the top three are going to give us a great race now, side by side for 5th place. A move being made there by 227 to get his way through. Richard Verschoor up another place at the second corner. So Richard moves ahead now of our 5th place man, that was Carlos Gil. So Richard Verschoor, what a drive this is turning into.
Incredible. I mean, it's not just that he's doing it, it's how quickly he's doing it. We've only done 3 laps and he's already got himself up to 6th position. Harry Webb's up to 8th. We wondered how he was going to go today, from 13th up to 8th, so not quite as impressive as Richard Verschoor, but it's good to see that he's got the car underneath him that's enabling him to bring it up through. That looked like rather a degree of mayhem at the second of the hairpins down there. Not sure what that's going to do to the order, but still in the lead is car 219, Rinus van Kalmthout. Piers Lehane trying to close in, but he's half a second back, and in fact he's more concerned of Sam Marsh just behind him in that 3rd position. And
Harry Webb's the one we've lost on that lap because he's dropped down to 19th place, so he's had drama on this lap somewhere around the circuit. What a shame for Harry there, because I think he just escaped the melee at the first corner on turn 2. He worked his way up into 8th place, but now he's down out on this one with the likes of Denis Mavlinov. I think he's just about scraped his way through that time, and of course a few more to add to that list as well. Or move for 2nd place, sorry, there's Sam Marsh up into 2nd, so just gets the job done. Through he goes then on Piers Lehane, and now what can he do about the man out front? Rinus van Kalmthout, but Sam Marsh, what a drive from 9th at the minute, now up into 2nd place.
That really is incredible. I wonder, like you said, is there a bit of an issue with Piers Lehane? If he had some contact, his cart's not quite underneath him that he wants, that means he's back into that 3rd position. And is Sam Marsh going to be able to actually pull away from Piers Lehane now and close in on Rinus van Kalmthout, who has a 0.6 of a lead? I mean, that is quite incredible in the karting. He's managed to just shove them off and pull away. And I do apologise to Harry Webb, giving him the commentator's curse there as soon as I say how impressive he was doing. And he has some kind of incident somewhere, but he is still going, but now in 19th position.
Yeah, we won't blame you on that one, Chris.
Thanks,
we'll let you off this time, but Harry Webb has had a disastrous year so far. It's not getting better here today at round number 2, but the fight for 2nd place is still on, because Piers Lehane hasn't let Sam Marsh get away just yet. As they work their way to the final corner now for another time. There's going to be 5 laps to go this time as they head their way down in towards turn number 1. Back in 4th place is still now, in fact, Richard Verschoor gets through on that lap, so it gets better for Richard, up now past Max Timmermans. And what can he do about the 3 ahead? The gap sits at 2.5 seconds, so quite a way to grab here.
It is, isn't it? But he's already pulling away from that group, so he's not just got past them, he's dominating them, he's just bossing this field. And is he going to be able to just pull away from everyone? Interestingly, is he? Yeah, he is the. No, he's not. He's not even the fastest kart out there, and yet he's been able to pull through. So that shows that it's a lot to do with his racecraft.
Yeah, it certainly is. So he's got fairly quick times. The one who is quicker than anyone is Josh White, in fact, 49.646 down in 8th place. So Josh is doing well, but can't quite make any progress on those up front. We've got another black and white flag coming out this time to kart 275, which is Jordan Lennox-Lamb. So he'll receive a penalty of some sort as well. 5 seconds. Yep, so not good at all. Where's Jordan in the order at the minute? He's down in 10th place. So another man who's had a poor start after qualifying this time round in 4th. So Jordan Lennox-Lamb, a 5-second penalty drops him down to 10th place.
That's not what he would have wanted to have seen as he came across the start-finish line. Of course, it is up in electronic display as he goes across the grid, hence we're able to cheat and see that a little bit sooner as well. But interesting to see that Piers Lehane is not dropping away from Sam Marsh. Sam Marsh did well to get up there, and we wondered whether there was a bit of an issue with maybe the handling or something. But no, Sam Marsh has not been able to shake him off.
A great scrap going on at the minute for 5th place. Just seen a move there for Max Timmermans to get ahead of Carlos Gil. Those 6 or 7 cars heading now into the final corner. And there is Max Timmermans at the head of it. Carlos Gil, Josh White, Jonathan Aberdeen. And the one towards the back is Matteo Lavaghi. So the Italian on his home track is also in the mix as well. Those 5 carts working their way now through turn number 2. And it's Max Timmermans who's trying his best in the blue and white machine to hold on to the rest of the pack. There's confirmation of the black and white flag for Jordan Lennox-Lamb in kart 275, and Jordan now with that penalty has dropped further and further back. He's down to 17th place. He's 10th in the running order, but 17th once the penalty has been applied. We've got just under 3 laps to go. We're still the top 3. Rinus van Kalmthout, Sam Marsh, and of course 3rd place for Piers Lehane, and they're working their way through the second of the hairpins already down towards the final few corners. The top 3 pretty much equidistant by the look of it as well.
Equidistant. Can you say that at this time of the morning? But you're absolutely right. Richard Verschure in 4th position. I think he's probably got as far as he can go. That gap's now down to, what is it? Wow, it's actually gone out a little bit this time. We had it down just under 2.5 seconds. It's 3 seconds. I think that Richard knows 4th position is the best he can do. He's comfortably away from this 5th backwards train that is being led by Max Timmermans, Carlos Gil, Josh White, John van Aberdeen. They're absolutely joined together, Mattia Livraghi. So that's where the real battle is here, because as you rightly and poshly said, Equidistant at the front 3. So we do have coming through down to turn number 10, the hairpin. And they will then start their final lap any second now. And it is, look at this, from 5th backwards. They're going round that hairpin side by side. They're arriving 2 by 2 as though they were on the start and just shuffled down there. I think that was Timmermans, has probably lost out by about 3 or 4 positions there. And indeed, at the front of that is now Carlos Gil, Clark 261. Josh White has moved up into 6th position. Timmermans dropped down to 7th. He really lost out there.
Yeah, the confusing thing for me there was another car in the mix but wasn't on the screen. And of course, that's Jordan Lennox-Lamb. So he's in there, but of course he's not going to be classified with those 5 carts. So Jordan is in there, but it's a great scrap that goes on between these carts at the minute. Carlos Gil, Josh White, Max Timmermans is the man who's losing out for the time being. But we are on the last lap of this senior race, and it's going to be, by the looks of it, Rinus van Kamthort, who's just about going to hold on here ahead of Sam Marsh, but it's getting closer and closer towards the checker flag, which is now prepared. The second senior heat is won for the first time today by Rinus van Kamthort, who comes through by a nice margin there at the end by 0.3 of a second ahead of Sam Marsh. They'll all duck off into the pit lane there straight after the race and side by side across the line. It doesn't end there, does it? Piers Lehane comes home in 3rd, Richard Verschure holds on to 4th, and Carlos Gil gets inside the top 5.
That side by side, I was looking to see just how close they were as they came across the line. The problem is it won't show on the screen because one of those was the penalised Lennox Lamb, so it won't show just how close they were, unfortunately.
But the order of that race then, just for confirmation for everyone at home, we've got the top 5 in there. We've got Josh White in 6th place for Coles Racing. Max Timmermans involved in that fight as well, ahead of Jonathan Aberdeen. Mattia Livraghi on his home circuit, and Nicholas Pico. Ed Brand, after the contact at turn 2, comes home in the end in a disappointing 11th place, and a few of the others down the order there. Berke Besler in 15th place with the 5 seconds applied. Jordan Lennox-Lamb in 16th, and then Harry Webb, disastrous run for him. He didn't finish the race, along with Denis Mavlinov, Agelos Melendros, and Louis Ferdinand Simonauer as well for Jana Racing. So a few disappointed people after that first of their races.